About 700 years ago, the Moors, a warlike and aggressive people from Africa, invaded Spain and held dominion over the entire country until they were eventually driven back to this so-called Veil of Heaven, where they founded their last stronghold in Spain and called it the Kingdom of Granada. The Moorish sovereigns were ardent patrons of literature, science, and architecture, and perhaps the greatest tribute to their memory is the world-famous Alhambra, situated on a hill overlooking the city of Granada. It was in this romantic setting that Washington Irving, while serving as American ambassador to Spain, wrote his thrilling tales of the Alhambra, and it was here, too, that Queen Isabella pledged her jewels to help finance Christopher Columbus's first voyage to America. The Moorish architects specialized in beautiful fountains, and the water system which they inaugurated here is still in practical use. Passing through what is known as the Gate of Justice, we leave the Alhambra and continue our journey to Seville, or Sevilla, the fourth largest city in Spain, where the past harmonizes with the present, and mañana is something to look forward to with delightful anticipation. Outstanding among the many ancient landmarks of Seville is the cathedral, which is claimed to be the second largest church in the world. It was first built by the Moors as a mosque, and much of its original construction has been standing for over 700 years. Seville is a romantic place which constantly perpetuates the festive spirit of old Spain as we see it here. About 300 miles north of Seville, on the banks of the Tagus River, lies the picturesque old town of Toledo, which was subjected to much bombardment during the recent Spanish Rebellion. The Tagus, like most of the rivers of the Iberian Peninsula, generally flows through deep valleys and rocky gorges, far below the general level of the adjacent country. Its estuary near Lisbon is one of Europe's most important harbors. At Toledo, the Tagus is spanned by old Moorish bridges, which have inspired artists for centuries. In fact, Toledo is an artist's paradise, particularly famous for its ancient gateways, which towered over mortal traffic long before Columbus discovered America. Toledo is said to be the oldest town in Europe, and its history is replete with the indisputable records of Roman, Moorish, and Visigoth civilizations, which once flourished here and went their destined ways. Thousands of Jews fled here from Jerusalem after the Holy City was sacked. It was also the royal residence of the kings of Spain and the center of the Spanish Church. At the height of its development, Toledo boasted a population of more than 200,000 souls, but today it is just a peaceful little town with quiet and pleasant people, apparently content with modest enterprises designed largely for tourist appeal. For centuries, Toledo has been noted for its hand-wrought articles, outstanding among which are the celebrated Toledo blades. Here is illustrated the extraordinary flexibility of these blades, which were famous even in the days of the Roman occupation. Perhaps the shrine of greatest interest in Toledo is the Casa El Greco, the former home and studio of Domenico Theotocopuli. No wonder the Spaniards called him simply El Greco. He was born in Greece, but reached the height of his fame during the many years of his residence in Toledo. El Greco died at an advanced age in the year of 1614, and his mortal remains now lie in the church of Santo Domingo. The celebrated paintings of El Greco may be found in all parts of the world today, but it is within the sacred confines of Toledo's churches that we may see the best examples of his original work, much of which was inspired by religion itself. About an hour's drive from Toledo brings us to the beautiful metropolis of Madrid, capital and second largest city in Spain. The period from 1936 to 1939 was one of great crisis for old Spain, divided against itself by a bitter civil war, and Madrid, being the capital, was the focal point for much destruction. But at least the material scars of warfare have now been obliterated, and the city appears to have successfully adjusted itself to the new order of things. Madrid is a monumental city, and one of its most impressive monuments is that of King Alfonso XII in the El Retiro Park. Among the other celebrated monuments of Madrid is that of Don Quixote and his faithful servant, Sancho Panza, the two world-famous characters who were created by Miguel Cervantes, noted novelist, playwright, and poet. Although his masterpiece, Don Quixote, was written near the end of the 16th century, it is still one of the world's most widely read classics. Foremost among the other monuments of Madrid are that of Queen Isabella and her obedient servant, Christopher Columbus, who first carried the torch of Spanish civilization to the New World. And it is here that we conclude our sightseeing in Spain.